All right, man. So we got Keith Thurman on Mill City Boxing, calling out Spence and Crawford. I mean, I think we all understand and heard that Crawford could be done after this Spence fight. So after this Canelo fight. So I think that's the expectation. Um, but who knows? If you win, it might be a different feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, man, this is my last bank heist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is my last bank heist. And you hit the lick and it's easier than you thought it was. I got one more in me. You know what I'm saying? So he could. He could, But I don't think I think Keith Thurman, most people are like, nah, because Keith Thurman, he held up Bud career, believe it or not. And he hurt Bud career. Even with nothing to do with Bud. He did. And what I mean by that is, by not fighting Errol Spence, that held up that Bud fight. And it also made the Bud fight not as big as this could have been if he would have fought him. So flat out. Flat out. So for the most part, that fight hurt him. Let me get out of here, man. It's just a lot of people up in here. But that fight hurt him. That fight legitimately hurt him. It hurt Spence. It hurt Spence from a monetary place as far as making that money in the fight. And it also hurt Spence from the place of there's just a lot going on in this parking lot, bro. A lot. And it also hurt Spence from a place of market value. And literally, had he fought Spence back then, Spence probably could have got the belts and not even had to fight Bud at 147. So, and now in reality, he responsible for a lot of shit that went down the way it did. He held the division up for 2 years. Who knows? Spence could have cleared that division out, got the belts, not even before he had the accident. And then he could have had the accident. He probably would have just retired in reality. But I think Spence is done. I think what they want to do is take Spence and feed him to a guy like Fondora so Fondora can get the popularity. They want to pour into Fondora kind of like Top Rank before what happened with Keyshawn wanted to pour into Keyshawn Davis. But I think pouring into Fondora, I mean, it's nobody's interested. Nobody's interested in paying big money to fight Fondora. So that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know, it's because I think he half Mexican, half Cuban. Maybe that I can't explain why. For somebody with that big and that talented, you'd think people would pay they would get behind them. But maybe somebody else can explain it and explain why. I can't give you an explanation why he ain't as popular. But for the most part, and Errol Spence wasn't going for it. They was throwing him in there to find Dora without a tune-up off of eye injury because they was mad at him because he took this Bud fight. And like he told Bud, I didn't take that fight for you. I took it because I told my fans this is what I was going to do. And as a man, all you got is your balls and your word. All you got is your balls and your word as a man. So he couldn't come back. He lived in this community too. You can't come back to your community and you went out like a buster, even though a lot of his fans was covering for him. They was making all these excuses. On, why they didn't make that fight. They was covering for him. So, but he knew, going out, going to the store, and all that other shit, going out there and going to the store and being seen in the community, they was gonna hold it against him. You knew they was gonna hold that shit against him. So, but from that point of view, as a man, you prideful, bro. You're a prideful man. So when people see you at the store and be like, "That's the nigga that duck Bud," or "Why you ain't fight Bud?" and you hear shit like that, nobody want to hear shit like that. Real shit. Nobody want to hear like, come on. So he ain't do it for Bud. And even if he didn't fight Bud, that was something that, he was gonna have to live with. But Bud would have found the way. He got turkey. And then Jamel went out like a buster too by not fighting him. He went out like a buster by not fighting him. So yeah, it was disgusting. And then, Keith wanted to fight Jamel. He wanted $5 million. I don't know what they was offering him to fight Keith Thurman, but they didn't give it to him. So now he ain't fighting Keith Thurman. So Keith Thurman, say he'll be back in December, but now he hope he'll be back by the end of the year, excuse me. But now Keith Thurman got to sit here. He got to sit here and beg Spence and Crawford, two guys that he could have fought a long time ago. It's like, dude, we advanced in our careers. We made some big money together. We made our money. You held our careers up. You didn't want to give us an opportunity, and now you begging down the line because now you need us. No, we not gonna do you no favors, homeboy. We not doing you no favors, and ultimately he got to live with that. He got to bite the He got to bite the bullet. He got to bite that bullet. So he got to live with that. But now he turned from Keith Thurman to Keith Sweat. I wanna. Now he begging. It's sad. Because he would have took this initiative, if he would have took this initiative 5-6 years ago, who knows? He could have sold the division up. He was like, well, everybody know my style is more difficult than Bud than Errol. Wow. And when he called you out when he came to the division, he called you out. You said he wasn't enough. He wasn't good enough, or you need to prove something. And then you come back into the division, lose to Pacquiao, and then you disappear for years again. Like, come on now. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing, son? These are things you could have proved a long time ago, and you chose not to. Now you old, and they advancing their careers, and Spence could sit there and probably be complacent with what he did, or be forced to sit there because they want to set him up to lose because he did what he wanted to do with his career. And how can you be mad at a guy? It's his career. Al Haymon and guided all these guys' careers. Al Haymon and guided all these careers, and he didn't make one star to none of y'all. I think we can close the case on it. Nobody became a star. I'm not a star. I got a kilo in the car. I'm not a star. Huh? Nobody became a star. Nobody became a star. I got a chopper in the car. I'm not a star. Huh? Nobody became a star. He took all y'all niggas' money allegedly. And then man, he pulled the biggest scam in sports. Y'all follow his plan. Ain't none of y'all become the face of nothing. Y'all became the face of ass. Hey, Beyond Juice be hitting though. I gotta give Beyond Juice some credit. That infused lemonade, I put turmeric and ginger. Best thing since sliced bread. I usually don't even drink this whole thing. This shit hitting. So Keith Thurman should have did this a long time ago, and he missed the boat. But Al Haymon really took the aggression out of these fighters. That's what he did. Al Haymon took the aggression out of these fighters. At one point, these fighters wanted to kill shit. They wanted to fight everybody. They wanted to prove that they're best. He got the aggression out of them. They ain't aggressive no more. Now they entitled, spoiled brats. So find it funny. You know, they was trying to beg Keith Thurman for a fight in their prime, and now in his decline, Keith Thurman begging for a fight. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase the chance to notifications. You go live or drop video, hit the link in the description. The first link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.